everybody. We're back here at Buzzard Rock. I'm Frank Della Penna from Cast in Bronze. This is our third virtual concert that we'll be giving from this location. We're going to feature holiday music so that you'll have it for Christmas. With me, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Charlie St. Cyr Paul. Charlie is the drummer that you hear on every single Cast in Bronze CD. And so he's up here visiting, and we're talking about old times. And anyway, I just wanted to introduce Charlie.
Hey, thanks for introducing me. What a pleasure to be here with Frank and the music of Cast in Bronze. And I think you're going to talk a lot about the holiday music you're performing. And tell me, how'd you come up with all these arrangements to work with these bells and contemporary music?
Well, when I first started to think about what I wanted to do with the holiday music, I thought, well, a lot of people have made Christmas CDs, and all they do is they just make them, same songs, same sort of way they're supposed to sound. And I thought, well, then it wasn't any real identity. So I thought, let me take each song and try to do something special that nobody would expect, which seemed like a really good idea, And then I came up with that arrangement of Carol of the Bells. And when I was like 40, which seemed like a really good idea, it was like really cool and it had a lot of bells in it. But that song's going to kill me one of these days.
It's hard. It's a hard song to perform. I got to see you perform that day in and day out, and that was a workout. For you.
We did that show six holiday seasons in a row.
Oh wow! Okay.
Don't you remember?
Yeah, I remember. The three of my favorite holiday seasons, ever.
Oh, three of them.
Yeah, three of my favorite. The other one I was trying to keep up with you.
You really haven't changed, have you?
No. The other ones I was just trying to keep up with you and your bells.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. We had, that was like so much fun and so magical. And every night there'd be thousands of people for that tree lighting ceremony, and it just made me melt. How about you?
Well, I love that. I love being at Disney World because you're at a place where they were seeing magical things every day, everywhere they went. 40 to 70,000 people a day. And here they would show up at your show, and they had the gaze upon them of, go ahead, impress me. I need to see something bigger and better now. And they would start off with you starting Carol of the Bells, dun, da, 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 dun, da, da, da. And they would look like, yeah, we've heard this before. And then as the song would develop, and the arrangement would just crescendo of just a flurry of bells and technical prowls that you had on the instrument, you would see people have a new amazement and awe about what you were doing. But the cool thing was, it wasn't a fabricated attraction or a ride. It was real music on a real instrument with other real musicians. And it was pretty, you're right, it was magical and special. So.
And we got to have a singer with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a first.
That I guess so, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Of course, they needed a very loud PA system to, compete with you.
Sure. Yeah, but it all worked.
Yeah.
And it was like so much fun.
What was the one arrangement with the singer that you really enjoyed? I remember the singers really enjoyed it too, because how many singers could say, I performed with a carillon?
Right.
The Do You Hear What I Hear?
Do You Hear What I Hear?
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was so much fun.
Now, you're going to perform this for these people?
Yes, we are.
Wonderful. You all are in for a treat. And I'm sure you're going to love this music. It's very special. So.
Do you remember when I used to mess with you guys? Tell them how I used to mess with you.
Well, so Frank is probably, I consider, the world premiere Carol Lenore. And we had these arrangements, like Carol of the Bells, that had odd time signatures, some fast passages, some really intricate things that we couldn't mess up or we would fall apart. And Frank really brought us through the process of how to perform these songs with him. But there would be these sections that if Frank didn't move on to the next section, we couldn't move on either. And some of those sections were really fast and hard to play. Well, occasionally Frank would be down, like he's sitting at the bells, and he'd be playing, and he would look up at us, and he would not move on, because we were busy playing the fast, hard passage, and he would just look up and like, but it made it so much fun to play with not only a great musician, but a musician that was taking a unique instrument and stretching our limits as musicians. So yeah, you call it messing, we call it perspiration time. So, but it was fun.
Oh no, it was a great gig.
Yep.
Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to end this little reunion where Charlie and I can start to yell at each other like we usually do, and then we're going to play some music for you. Thanks for supporting me as always, and please let me have your feedback. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you would, just thank you so much for supporting me. I wouldn't be here without you.